Hey guys, sorry my microphone's trapped out of me for the day, so we're gonna be getting a new microphone coming tomorrow. Sorry for the sound quality on this one if it's not the greatest. Um, I don't know how to do this because I don't know how to talk about this. It's a divided heart for me. Um, I don't know if you guys heard the news today. If you didn't, you live under a rock. Um, the immortal one's not so immortal anymore. Hulk Hogan passed away early this morning at the age of 71, and this is a very dividable topic. Because like I was discussing with a few of my wrestling fans and even family members who aren't wrestling fans, some of them don't really care, if that makes sense, and I kind of agree with that side as well as wrestling friends of mine that are also wrestling fans. That I get to look at this from two different angles. There's the guy and the memories and the. You want to come up? No, here's some Toddy today, guys. Oh, there we go. There's Toddy. Hi. Thanks, Toddy. Hey, there's Toddy. Um, yeah, there's two different ways to look at this, right, Chuck? Hug me, Tony. Yeah, there's the Hulk Hogan that made all our childhoods. If you grew up in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s for some people, really, really, really cool. He had a lot of amazing memories. Thanks, Tough. Daddy needs love for this video tonight. Um, yeah, he had a lot of amazing. Was he the most technical and gifted wrestler? No, but the man had charisma coming out of his asshole, and he could talk. And he redefined an era not once, but twice. With the end of Wish was this Hulkamania in the red and yellow. Who else could make red and yellow colors of ketchup and okay, there you go, sorry guys. The colors of ketchup and mustard. Cool. How about a 6'6", 270-pound Italian guy from California who played the bass? Um, I don't know if you guys know this, but Hulk Hogan was actually never really at first targeted to be the guy as Vince McMahon Sr. fired him because he went to go do the Rocky movie. Um, it was Vince McMahon Jr. who saw the money in Hogan, and goddamn was he right. And like I said, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, and I don't know if there's wrestling without Hulk Hogan. That's why I'm kind of divided on this, because part of me wants to say thank you for the memories. Thank you for the. I remember so many memories and enjoyable ones I've had watching wrestling with my dad and my nun was just watching you. Both of my nonnos. We would just sit there and we'd watch and we'd laugh and we'd share our pants and just get enjoyment of watching you do your hulking up and your comebacks if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? And then just punch, 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 kick, 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 boot off the ropes, leg drop, and it's over. So you guys saw the shirt I unveiled a couple of days ago in this podcast. It's kind of like I was saying to my brother, it's kind of weird how I was able to come across that shirt and purchase it and wear it. And then the day later, um, I got a message from my buddy who's also a wrestling fan in our group chat. Hulk Hogan's dead. I'm like, no, he's not. It's a hoax. Everyone's saying different things about Hogan for weeks now, saying how he was sick and he couldn't talk, and everyone else is claiming bullshit and hearing different side of every story. And yeah, guys, it's not a hoax. If you grew up in the, like I said, if you're like me and you grew up in the 80s and the 90s and are a massive wrestling fan, Hulk Hogan impacted your life greatly for the better. As a kid, I was a closet Hulkamaniac. I didn't want to ever admit this to my friends, but I had a lot of Hulk Hogan shit. I had the bandanas. My dad bought me the clearway shirts. My first ever wrestling figure was Hulk Hogan. I had a Hulk Hogan wrestling dummy. I was obsessed with the dude for a long time. All I wanted to do was listen to the Hulk Hogan song. I'd come out and rig the ear. The biceps, yeah, they're a little fat right now, I'm not gonna lie. But the 24-inch arms, everything about it. Um, like I said, that guy was he the best in-ring worker? No. Was he ever gonna have like 5-star Tokyo Dome matches like Dave Meltzer wanted to have? No, he was not that wrestler. He was the showman. He was the guy that could talk you into building, and every wrestler they knew they could make money with him because he was gold, no matter what. He was the hero, and everyone wanted the hero to always win. And if you're the villain, you were making money working with that man. Um, like I said, it's just for me personally, it's a mixed day of emotions. I didn't know how I was going to approach this. That's why it's taken me so long to do this video. Plus, I was babysitting my niece and my nephew, and that brought a lot of joy to me today. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. It took my mind away from this for a little while until I realized, oh yeah, I gotta talk about this. Um, the kid in me is always gonna love Hulk Hogan because, like I said, there's so many memories. So many memories watching Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy in WrestleMania 3 in the steel cage. The very first WrestleMania with Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. His matches with Macho Man Randy Savage. The handshake with Macho Man Randy Savage. The Mega Powers. Oh man, was that cheesy, but was that good. You could tell those guys were enjoying the shit out of themselves and enjoying the shit out of life. Just those guys were having having the time of their life, being with their buddies, doing things they've just coked out of their skulls for the most part. Some of them drunk, who knows what else. But you could tell those guys were enjoying life, and like I've said to some of my buddies, a lot of these guys from that era, they did a lot to their bodies. So people like me and you could sit here and talk about this sport and share our love of it. And it's cost a lot of them their life way, way, way too young. Hogan's one of the lucky ones who's made it this far. But for me, a lot of my childhood is slowly fading away with all these guys that are passing away. And Hogan was one of the last ones left for me. And that's why a lot of the memories I had, that's why you can see it. I don't know how to deal with this, to be honest with you, right now. Because I want sport, I want to pay respect to this man. But yes, like my brother said, I did nothing but talk crap about him for a couple of months straight because Terry Bollea as a person, from everything you see portrayed of him, shown of him, I should say, was not the best human being in the world. His, I've read recently that him and his daughter haven't talked in a long time, and his daughter almost died while giving birth to his grandchildren. And that man doesn't recognize his grandchildren, whereas my dad's not even here to see his grandchildren. And my dad loved Hulk Hogan. I'll say that. The last time one of the things he sent me, yes. Um, but like I said, this is not a slander video. This is a tribute video. So we're gonna go that route today, because the man deserves his flowers. Like I said, he's not gonna have the most memorable matches, so we're not gonna talk about the matches, but we're gonna talk about the impact this man had on the industry. And by how did he have impact? He's the first ever crossover guy. He's the first ever guy that went to those movies without Hulk Hogan walking. People like The Rock, The Miz, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, God, more and more. Keep going. Dave Batista, Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. These people couldn't run without people like Hulk Hogan leading the way and showing them how it could be done. Hulk Hogan is the very first ever professional wrestler, not actual sports athlete, but professional wrestler to grace its covers of Sports Illustrated. That was monumental. Like I said, at that point, he was the very first professional wrestler to make movies. Some of them shitty, like No Holds Barred. God, please don't ever, ever, ever mention that movie again. Um, this guy just, you can see by my face and the look I have on it right now that this guy just had such a profound, uh, I don't know how else to say this. He just had this way about him that just made you believe as a kid. He was just to say his prayers, do your vitamins, um, work out, all that shit. Just everything that guy said, you as a kid you ate it up, you believed it because he said it with such gusto and such belief that you thought it had to be true. Because why would your hero lie to you? Well, he was a hero. I will say that. Hulk Hogan was at least. Um, he had some of the most memorable feuds you can think of in wrestling against just the Heenan family in general. I don't know if a lot of you guys are gonna remember this, but do you guys remember when Andre the Giant broke Hulk Hogan's cross at the Piper's Pit just with one hand and grabbed it and called him a traitor, and that led to that picture of the shirt I have now with one of the most memorable moments, not just in wrestling but in sports general. People like I wore that shirt to work, and people that aren't even wrestling fans like I remember that day. I remember where I was. I remember what that is. I will never forget that. I watched that with my dad. I watched that with my mom. I watched that with my uncle. I watched that with my brother. People tell me all these different stories about how Hulk Hogan affected their lives. Um, like I said, Hulk Hogan was an amazing person. As Hulk Hogan, he touched a lot of people. He made a lot of people feel something. Ah, he also did disappear for a little bit. And he made, as you guys know, he did that little. I think he's most famous for acting with the Thunder in Paradise kid that won a couple seasons. Once again, was he the world's greatest actor? Not really, but he put everything he did into that, like he did with his wrestling. And did I watch Thunder in Paradise? Yep. You know why? Because Hulk Hogan was in it. Did I watch Mr. Nanny? Yep. Why? Because Hulk Hogan was in it. Did I watch Santa with Muscles? Yep. Why? Because Hulk Hogan was in it. Did I watch Three Ninjas, the one with Hulk Hogan? You better bet your ass I did, because Hulk Hogan was in it. Anything Hulk Hogan was in or had to be in, I had to watch. I got pissed off with my dad because I didn't keep letting me watch certain things because I was younger, and I found ways to watch it. I went to the video store, I rented those videos, or I went to the movie theater and I watched them there. And by the grace of God, I was actually able to see him a few times live when he came to Vancouver, and I'll never forget it because it was with my dad and my little brother, who he unfortunately is not a wrestling fan anymore himself. But my dad used to take us there, and there's a few times when Hulk Hogan came and the building wasn't always the greatest, but Hogan sure put on the show and made the fans feel like they were important. He knew what he was doing. He got us all involved. We got the year going. He got the pose down. He brought kids into the ring with him. I remember everything. If you live in Vancouver, you know the Peony Agrodome days and the shitty Coliseum we had there, and the wrestling leagues should come by. And we never had the greatest crowds, but the wrestlers made it work, and nobody made it work better than Hogan. The last time I saw him was actually probably, yeah, at least 20 years ago, WCW, when WCW went out of business, New Blood Rising. And I had a feeling that'd be the last time I'd ever see him because I thought that'd be the end of him because he'd already been 15, 20 years into the business at that point. Actually, God, near 30 years into the business at that point. That guy gave everything he could to this business, and this business gave everything they could to him. Um, he reinvented this business on more than one occasion. I don't know if you guys, most of you obviously know this now because you joined wrestling later. He is one of the original um, NWO members. When Hogan changed wrestling twice. When he beat the Iron Sheik in '84 and won the title, and won that run for a goddamn near decade and a half. And then he walked away and he came back and joined WCW. And then he went on another goddamn near decade and a half long run as Hollywood Hulk Hogan and NWO Hogan. When Hogan turned heel, I debate this to this day. This might have been bigger than when John Cena turned because nobody saw it coming. If nobody saw John Cena's turn coming, the only difference is Hogan's heel turn had a bit more profound impact because he did more with it. Whereas John Cena's playing more like a comic book heel. Hogan was the heel the fans wanted to absolutely murder at that point because nobody could believe this had happened. And he did. You could tell he wasn't the most comfortable person playing a heel because the guy'd been a baby face for 30 plus years at that point, or 20 plus years right at that point, and you could tell he wasn't hip to it. But if you listen to the new NWO book, you'll understand he got on quick. Not everything in that book is good about Hogan, but a lot of it is. And today's not about shit talking Hulk Hogan. Today's about remembering the man and what impact he had on people's lives and the joy he brought to people like my life. As a kid, watching him every, I was either Monday or Saturday main event. God, I still remember sitting on the couch and watching wrestling with my dad and just waiting for Real American to hit. And then him coming out and me losing my mind and screaming like a banshee and running around the house. Hulk Hogan! Hulk Hogan! Daddy, it's Hulk Hogan! And big yeah, son, it's Hulk Hogan. And then I have to go get my little toy vitamins. Oh, fuck. I remember it all, and that just all comes back to me as I think about it. um, we've lost a lot of them. There's only one member of the NWO left now. Original member, I should say. That's Big Kev. Hogan's gone. Scott's gone. I don't know, guys. This one, this one just feels different, if that makes sense. It just feels like there's a void left in that world of wrestling now, if that makes sense. And Hogan had been in wrestling for the last time we saw him was when he got booed off the stage of Netflix. But we're not going to talk about that because, like I said, this is not a day to ball bash Hulk Hogan. This is a day to remember Hulk Hogan and the joys and the memories he brought to your life. Because this is about Hulk Hogan. This isn't about Terry Bollea. I want to leave this alone for that family. Let them grieve in peace. Because I know what it feels like to lose somebody you truly and honestly care about. And let me say this: he without sin cast the first stone. Because there isn't a goddamn person on this earth that can cast a stone. Because everyone here has sin. If you don't think you do, you're a lying piece of shit. Sorry to tell you that. I'm not the greatest human being in the world. You're not the greatest human being. Nobody on this planet is the best human being. If there's such thing as a perfect human being, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody around you. So shut that shit off now. We all have faults. If the perfect human being existed, they'd be boring. Oh, yeah. Hogan gave us great feuds. Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy, Earthquake, aka Shark, Giant, aka Big Show, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan Forever, Hulk Hogan Warrior, Hulk Hogan Savage, Hulk Hogan Flair, Hulk Hogan Sid Vicious, Hulk Hogan Dungeon of Doom, Hulk Hogan Sting, Hulk Hogan Goldberg, and then when he came back again for his last run with WWE when he was first in NWO, how is anyone ever going to forget that WrestleMania 17 in Toronto? It's impossible. If you go on social media everywhere, you're going to see a lot of videos say about what Hulk Hogan meant to people, and you're going to see a lot of videos probably like this on YouTube of what Hulk Hogan meant to people. I divide them differently. There's Hulk Hogan, and then there's Terry Bollea. There's videos about Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea is a different entity. Um, um, uh, I just, yeah, I think we all knew this day was going to come at some point. If you've been a wrestling fan for as long as I have, yeah, you knew this day was going to come. It happens to everyone. We've lost a lot of good ones. We've lost Eddie. We've lost Owen. There's one I won't mention because a lot of people won't agree with me on that. Davey Boy's gone. Pillman's gone. Scott Hall's gone. Ravishing Recruit is gone. Randy Savage is gone. Big Boss Man is gone. King Kong Bundy's gone. Earthquake is gone. The Legion of Doom are both gone. And now Hogan's gone. Pretty much all we have left now is the Nature Boy. That's if you're a Nature Boy fan. I won't bash him because it's not the time to do that, but I profoundly, deeply want to say thank you to Hulk Hogan, wherever you are, for the memories you gave me as a child. They were forever going to last with me. I will take them to my grave with me because you made my childhood very, very fun, my man. The yellow and red, the bandanas, the Hollywood Hogan run, the blue steel cage versus King Kong Bundy, the feud with Andre the Giant, the feud with Earthquake, the feud with Earthquake when he was Shark in Dungeon of Doom, getting hugged by the Yeti. Excuse me, guys. Just you turn some shit into gold. You feud with Sergeant Slaughter, a lot of different things you made that should not have worked. You made work somehow. I don't know. You saw money in a lot of things that probably didn't happen that should have happened. That shitty match you had with Sid Vicious that I'll always remember. I'll never forget WrestleMania 17, and that was just that was the epitome of wrestling for me. Um, like I said, this is not a video to bash him. Like I said, he without sin cast the first fucking stone. Because there's not one person on earth that is unsinful. If you truly believe you are, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone around you. And most importantly, you're lying to yourself. um, you had a profound impact on an industry that will never forget you, and a fan base that will never forget you. On that note, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. If you have comments or anything you want to say below or share your Hulk Hogan memories, be my guest. Yeah, it's just a sad, sad day for wrestling fans. All right, we'll leave it there. Bye, guys.